Hi Flosstube, I'm Pam. Welcome to my channel, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. This is Flosstube number 73, and today is Tuesday, September 13th. I knew that without having a look at my notes because it's primary day in Rhode Island, so I had to get out and vote this morning. Welcome. If you are new here, I hope you enjoyed the video and you stick around for some more in the future. I'm trying to get back on a weekly schedule. I've been saying that all summer. But I think that Tuesday is the day. So hopefully I'll have another video next Tuesday. And if you're a returning viewer, I'm sorry I've been so sporadic. I'm trying to get better. Thank you for coming back. So we're gonna do a little life update today. Not much because nothing is happening in my life. And then we'll talk about some stitching. I've got some shop update and a little bit of bird update at the end. Not very much bird update at the end either. So life update, the big thing that's been happening in my life has been the Needlework Expo. That was the weekend before Labor Day. I am still, most of my days are still spent processing orders, inputting inventory, getting it out onto the floor of the shop. It was a lot of work. So that has been taking up probably 90% of my life. I did last week go out with my best friend for the first time in months. And we went for Indian food, which was my first time. But my store, if you're new here, I opened a cross stitch store, literally a brick and mortar, back in November of 2021. And I'm located in downtown North Attleboro, Massachusetts. And an Indian restaurant opened up down the street from me, and I decided to give it a go. And oh my goodness, it was the best thing I've ever had. I am a very unadventurous eater, so I was super proud of myself, and it was delicious. So that happened in my life since we've chatted last. What else my daughter's kind of going through a tough time right now, and we've been giving her a little extra support. So that's been taking up, taking it between Expo and supporting my daughter. It's been a few weeks. It's been one of the, anyway. And that's pretty much it for my AC's about to kick on. I apologize. It's loud. It will last like 5 minutes and then it will go away. In my store, the ceilings are exposed and the heating system in AC is piped through the top of the store. And so there's no buffer. There's no like ceiling hiding the ductwork. And then the big unit for it all is in my storeroom, which is literally like a partition wall. So there's no sound buffer for that. I can't control it. Anyway, I've stitched. I've done some stitching since we've chatted last. I forgot to bring one of the things, and that's okay. We'll get it next time. So I've got a pile here. I'm just gonna grab. I have at all times a project going that I stitch on in the shop for stitchy groups. And last video, it should be Read She Said, the banner by Hands On Design that was released at Market this year. But I brought it home because my last Flosstube video was at home. Anyway, the last time I showed it, no, my last Flosstube video was here, but I accidentally put it in the pile of whips to bring back home. So then when it was next stitchy group, I didn't have anything to stitch on here. And so, of course, that meant I had to have a new start. It was a tragedy. So I chose, I'm loving this, by the way. I chose Stitcher by Luminous Fiber Arts. So that's what it should look like when I'm done. It's called for to stitch in a Gloriana silk. I went with Classic Colorworks Cherry Cobbler. And it's on 32 count linen. An 1/8 I had hanging around the shop. And I mean, it was stitching up so fast that I jokingly said, it was not a joke when I said it. Now it's a joke. But I had said to the other folks in my stitching group on Wednesday nights that I might stitch it like 4 more times and gift it away to some of my stitchy friends. They were like, Pam, they had to bring me back to reality. It does stitch up fast, but the chances of me stitching it another like 4 times are slim to none. But I'm almost done. I may finish it this Wednesday. That would be tomorrow, which is also my anniversary. I've been married 21 years. So that's super fun. That's a super fun stitch. I may stitch it again. We'll see. The options are endless. I wasn't sure if I didn't want to stitch it in like a charcoaly black color. I don't know. We'll see. I'm always full of like ideas that never happen. I'm probably not going to stitch that again. And then I don't think I showed this last video. I host a Zoom, which is currently closed, I apologize, for people stitching fancy folk. They don't have to be Nora Corbett's or Mirabilia's. They can be, the fancy folk is a loose definition, but it's the 4th Thursday of every month. So the end of last month, I got a June bug by Nora Corbett. I love her. I love her. And I'm stitching her on a 32 count linen. And I think I'm making some good progress. I don't remember exactly where she was last time I showed her. I think I had been working over here on all that teal, and now I finished it over here and I'm bringing it there. So, I mean, she's practically done. Not really, but it feels like it to me. I am doing her skin 1/1, which is the first time I've done that, and I'm kind of liking how it looks. I'm pleased. Oops, see, AC's off. I don't have to yell anymore. I always feel like I'm so loud on my videos. I'm trying to put things away. All these have to go back home when we're done here. And then we were in a new month. So this year I work on 2 focus projects a month, plus my husband is calling. We're just gonna end that. He's gonna be like, why did you not answer the phone? Anyway, 2 focus projects a month. I've already been thinking about next year, and I'm thinking I might switch it up for next year. I know it's only September, but now is when I start planning. And I don't think I'm gonna do the focus project thing next year. It's gotten me a lot of progress on things this year. It's gotten me quite a few finishes, but I'm finding that I'm missing stitching on the things that were my focus projects way back in January and February. Like I had a new start for January and I haven't touched it since. So I think next year I might do a rotation. So I'll just go down my WIP list in order of start dates, and I have to touch it for at least one night. I have to put like a length of thread in, and I can keep stitching on it for as long as I want to till I get bored. But the minimum is that it has to be touched for one night or like one day. And then I can move on to another project. So I could stitch on it one day, I could stitch on it 3 days, I could stitch on it for 3 weeks, but when I'm done with it, I move on to the next project. So I think that's what I'm gonna do next year. I think I'll go through the rotation faster, because right now I'm not touching things twice. So I mean, not that you guys wanted to know what I'm doing for next year, but I digress. Focus project number 1 for September is Feed the Birds by the Needle Love Company. And I am stitching, it came with 2 charts, Feed the Birds and Bird Watcher. So I am stitching Feed the Birds, but as I took it out this time, I realized that there are birds on Bird Watcher that I want on Feed the Birds. So So in Bird Watcher, there's a female goldfinch, and in Feed the Birds, there's 2 male goldfinches. So I'm gonna replace one of those with the female goldfinch. And then there is a nuthatch on Bird Watcher. And it's inside of a D. I have an empty D on Feed the Birds. So I'm gonna put the nuthatch in there. And there are 2 Carolina wrens. And I'm gonna figure out a place, I don't know where yet, but I'm gonna pop a Carolina wren in there too. So I'm probably not stitching Bird Watcher ever, so I want these birds in here as well. All the birds, I want all the birds. I am stitching it on a 32 count linen. And I think where I left off last time was somewhere in the feed. I had the cardinal done, but that might have been, I might have had the 2 E's done. So I made some good progress so far in the first half of September. Oh my gosh, I love that little goldfinch. The birds are not 100% done because I was missing some colors that I had to get, and then I usually save back stitching for the last. And I'm loving that little feeder, which is also not finished. The little bird seed at the bottom. It's so cute. I cannot wait until this is done. I did swap out the color of the letters. They're supposed to be a DMC, but I had this raisin from Forbidden Fiber Co, and I'm liking the way it looks. I'll show it one more time. I'm really happy. So my second focus project of this month is going to be my fall start, my fall equinox start. And that's not until, what's today, the 12th? It's in 10 days. So I still have 10 more days to work on this. I was hoping to get it done this month. It may happen, it may not. And it doesn't bother me as much if it doesn't happen because next year I'm going to do a rotation. So it will get finished next year. The other thing that I work on every month is a Tisket a Tasket by Rosewood Manor. I'm hosting a stitch along for this. We're using the hashtag. I'm not using the hashtag because I can never remember to post pictures. But if you're into the whole hashtag thing, we're using the hashtag Tisket Tasket Basket Sal. And I've broken it out into 15 sections. And if you want to see the 15 sections, they're in my Facebook group. The link's below in the description. And I'm trying to do a section every month. So I am currently working here. I'm doing 1, 2, 3, so 4 of these motifs in the border. And I have 2 done. And the third one a little bit started. I also super need to serge my fabric because it is fraying everywhere. So this is what I have so far. So section 4 I don't even know if it's section 4, but the 4th section I'm doing is down here. So I did this one, and I've started the next one. So it's coming along. I'm keeping up. Again, a 32 count linen. A whole lot of 32 count linen going on. And when I stitch on 32 count linen, I almost always, I've never not done 2 threads over 2. Okay, lastly, nope, not lastly. Usually I show my temperature stitch along first, and I had it last in the pile, so we'll do it last. Which we'll talk a little bit about temperature stitch alongs for next year when I get to it. I also host a Hawk Run Hollow stitch along, which again is closed currently, on the 2nd Thursday of every month. And I am working on a year at Hawk Run Hollow. I am currently working on the May block. I am stitching it on 40 count linen 1/2. So this is that I have January, February, March done, June done, September done, and this is where I'm working. And I'm brightening the colors so it doesn't look like the called for. I'm not brightening all the colors. I kind of like pick and choose as I go. So I finished the flowers and I am currently working on the picket fence. So I actually made quite a bit of progress because I usually only take it out once a month on the Zoom call. And last week on the Zoom call, I was getting a little discouraged because it took me like the 2 hours we were stitching together to get that half picket done and these 2 pickets done. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get this done this year. There's no way I'm gonna get all the pickets done. And then there's some bees. There's like 4 or 5 bees up here and there's a little house over here. I'm like, it's not gonna get done this year. I really wanna get the May block done this year. So what I've decided for the rest of the year is that when it comes out, I will stitch 6 lengths of thread. Wow, that wasn't working. After the Zoom call. So I continued on with more of the pickets. That should get me super close to a finish. And if I'm finding that like I'm not gonna make it, I will not do one of my focus projects and I'll work on this because if I get the May block done, I will have 6 full blocks done this year. I started this in 2020. So, but as of this year, I will have 6 blocks done by the end of this year. If I can get that May block done, and then I will be halfway finished, and that feels good. So, and it makes me feel like next year I could get three done, and the year after that I could get 3 done, and that would be 2 more years and I'll be done. Thinking it could happen. We shall see. But when I tell you I was discouraged last week thinking about that, I was discouraged. And that brings us to my daily temperature stitch along. Although I don't stitch it daily, I stitch it weekly. I am doing this here, Christie's Corners, Temperature Library 2. So you stitch a book. There's a book for every day of the year, plus some like doodads and knickknacks sitting on your shelves. And I am kind of caught up because I'm out of my color. I ran out of the color for the temperature range of 80 to 83 Fahrenheit. So I need to pick up more of that. I'm sure I have it somewhere in some other project, but I'll just buy a new skein. So here we are. August is done, except for right here where it was 81 degrees and I need to get that color. And I started September. So I am all caught up again, except for these 2 days. It's funny how like we were hot in July and hot in August, and almost immediately we get to September and it looks a lot more like June. So strange. Like, how does the weather know that we're in a new month and it needs to change? I don't know. It's a mystery. I am short on I have to fill in 2 knickknacks. I also had run out of, I'm doing the bookcase in Weeks Dye Works Pelican Gray, and I had run out. So I had to get a new skein of that. So I was a little behind. You don't know that because I have since mostly caught up in the weeks between the 2 videos. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to do another one next year, and I am torn. Christy from Christie's Corner has showed the one she has charted up for next year, and it's birds on a wire, and I like birds, as you all know. So I might do that one. But I had said to myself before she released it that I was going to pick one for next year that was super simple and easy. That was just like some motifs, and so I didn't have to like stitch extra things. There's one on Etsy, I can't remember who it's by, but it's just a little motif you do every day. There's no frame, there's no tree I have to stitch or an outline that goes like, it's just little motifs. So I might say, I think I need a break from the extra because I found this year I've fallen a little bit behind a few times. So I might save the birds for the next year. I don't know yet. You know those birds are gonna get me. I have to decide that before January, obviously. Okay, that's what I've been stitching. Look at my notes. What's up next? I have actually we've got plans. So I have two new starts coming up. And then, so I have a new start this month for the first day of fall. And I'm going to do a new start at the retreat I'm going to, Stitching at the Farm. And that's the first weekend in November. So I wanted to get those fabrics picked out, make sure I had all the things I needed for those. So I'll show you what I picked. And then I'm going to do a birthday start in November, and I'm going to do a first day of winter start. So I have 2 more new starts this year too, and I haven't picked them out yet. I might need help actually with that. I'm just not sure. Expo like threw me for a loop. There's all sorts of things I want to start now. Anyway, my fall start is going to be the Little House Needleworks Fall on the Farm series that came out this year. There are 9 parts. I'm only showing you the first part because that's all I have in my stash currently. And I pulled all the colors. They're all fantastic. And I'm stitching it. What the heck am I stitching it on? You know what? It's a 32 count linen. It's an R&R, and it's one that didn't have a label on it, so I wasn't sure what the color was. It's gonna be, so it doesn't matter, but these are all going to, when I floss tossed, it was amazing. So my Fall on the Farm is gonna be on kind of like a steely bluey, grungy gray, and it's gonna be fantastic. Cannot wait. I almost started it the other day. I'm like, nope. You need to wait. It will be special. I love a new start. And then my retreat start. So the first weekend in November, I am going to do Live on Little by Plum Street Samplers. And I didn't pull all the DMC I needed, but I did get the fancy floss, some of it, because I was out of stock. I think 1 of the colors, 2 of the colors, I don't remember. But I'm stitching it on this really pretty brown. I think it's Dolly Madison by Needle and Flax. And I went with a 36 count. So this is one of those colors that never shows up on camera. I'm not gonna pull the colors because I don't even have the DMC, but you can see it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. So good. I always feel like Wilson from Home Improvement. Like, hey guys, I'm just peeking over the fence. So I feel accomplished that it's not like the day that I'm doing a new start and I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. Okay, that is all my stitchy talk. We are now in the shop update portion of the video. I need to take a drink. You know what else I did? We're getting into tea season. This isn't tea, it's Coke, but we are getting into tea season. So I did spend yesterday scrubbing out my electric tea kettle and getting it all ready to go. And I did make some tea this morning and it was delicious. It's like a vanilla mint situation, like an Earl Grey with, I don't know. It's fantastic. Anyway, shop update. I'm gonna put on my like professional hat now. Needlework Expo. For those of you that placed pre-orders with me, most of the pre-orders have been completed And if you are getting yours shipped to you, you should have received a shipping invoice. I had been waiting on 2 designers for the last batch that I was waiting to complete. One of those came in today. So a few of you received, either it's ready to be picked up for my in-person folks, or you received a shipping invoice. If you did not, let me know. If you pre-ordered from Pansy Patch, that's the last one I'm still waiting for. So I've got maybe 3 or 4 of you that I'm waiting to fill those orders. My apologies. If I don't receive, seeing if the postman came. If I don't receive them the next few days, I'm gonna reach out to you and we'll figure out if you want to wait or you just want what I have shipped to you. What else do I want to say about that? Yeah, it was a lot of fun, Expo, and a lot of work. So we've got there were things that I ordered from Expo that I never had up for pre-order. So the Expo, Needlework Expo site on the shop section of the website is still there. I do have some favorite things in the shop this week. I can't show everything that came out at Expo because it was a lot of stuff. And then of course there are always things coming in that had nothing to do with Expo. So I just picked a few things to show. I did get 2 fabric orders in at the tail end of last week. I got a small order from Fox and Rabbit, just 2 colors. I'm just kind of bringing in colors gradually from them. So I got in some flannel flower and I got in some eucalyptus. I do have 2 more orders from Fox and Rabbit coming this fall. Don't ask me what they are. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then I also received my batch of the 4 colors, the 4 Halloween colors from Atomic Ranch. And I have those here, so I'll show you. Steel. It's a great color. So I'm thinking a lot of your Halloween stitching is going to look fantastic on these. This is Pumpkin King, and it's a little more orangey, maybe like right there. It's very kind of grungy. Look at that, look at that. This is the 36. So I received the Atomic Ranch in 14, 16, and 18 count Adas, 28 and 32 count Luganas, and 28, 32, 36, and 40 count linens. Granny Smith, holy moly. It's very chartreuse. I love that word. So Granny Smith. And then the last color is Bayou. I really like this one. So Bayou. So those are in stock now. They're on the website. These just came today. They're so cute. What do you see? They're the Jim Shore Mill Hill gnomes. So, oh, here comes the AC again. They're little like Christmas gnomes. They're so cute. So we have gnome with a tree and gnome with a wreath. He's so cute. Gnome with some holly. I like his hat the best. Gnome with ornaments. There's something about gnomes. I can't resist them. They're so cute. And gnome with presents. Super cute. Super cute. I'm probably never gonna do this one, but I wish I could. But I have no sewing skills. So I'm never gonna turn it into a needle book. But I love this. Needle Heathen by Bendy Stitchy. She said, for all of my fellow stitchers who don't know and who may not care what size or type of needle you're using, this is the needle book for you. No need to sort your needles or keep track of them. Use what feels good. Keep all of your needles in the same place and be proud of it. Like, this is straight up stitching in the land of good enough for needles. I love it. I love it. And then she had this, there are 5 4 little decorative counting pins to stick in your needle book. So cute, so cute. Needle heathen, any size, any type. I love this. Maybe I'll stitch it and somebody who can turn things into needle books will do it for me. I'm terribly uncrafty. And then lastly, this was one of my favorite expo releases. It's Carriage House Samplings. It's egg in a bowl. It comes with a little recipe from Marty Barracks. Did I say it's Marty? Now I'm second guessing myself. It is. It's more. I don't know why I'm second guessing myself. Anyway. So it comes with a little recipe, the egg in a bowl, Marty Barracks' mom, and I guess also Kathy Barracks' mom, since they're sisters. But there's something about the blue check, and then she's got an egg on her head, and then there's a chicken on a branch above the egg that's on her head. That feels super fun to me. Oh, I love it. I love that the salt and pepper are sprinkling into the bowl. This is a strong contender for my birthday start. I love it. Okay. So that's it for my favorite things this week. I mean, there are so many favorite things. We'd be here all day. I did want to talk. This is for my in-person folks. Next Wednesday, so every Wednesday night I host a stitching group here at the shop from 5 to 8. You don't have to let me know you're coming. It's just drop in, bring your stitching. But next Wednesday, North Attleboro is having a block party. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna have a little table out in front of my shop. The street that I am on is going to be closed. So it's on-street parking at my store, so you will not be able to park in front of my store. I think if you are not from the area and know the town really well, it's going to be tricky for you to figure out where to park. And then you're gonna have to maybe walk a little distance to get into me. I don't want to ever tell you to stay away, but if you're planning a trip to the shop next week and Wednesday is the day you're planning on coming, I would plan it so that you are out of here by 3 o'clock, because the road is being closed at 3 o'clock. The block party is going to be from 5 to 8. If you are adventurous and you don't have parking anxiety like I do, then by all means come down. It is going to be fun. There's going to be so much going on in the center of town, and it's also the night that the farmers market, it happens in front of the town hall, which you can walk to from my store. So there is going to be like so much fun happening. So if you're adventurous, if you are of the parking variety type, parking anxiety variety, I get it. Wednesday evening, late afternoon is not going to be the time you're going to want to come here next week. That would be a Wednesday, September 21st. But if you are the adventurous type, or you're familiar with North Attleboro, come on down. It's going to be a good time. Okay. We're going to talk retreats for a sec. 2 things. Number 1, I have signed up to be a vendor at Celebration of Needlework in Nashua, New Hampshire next year. It happens in May. Don't ask me the exact dates, but I will be set up selling my wares. I don't know yet whether I'll have the store. I probably will shut the shop down for the weekend, but very excited about that. It'll be my first time doing anything like that. Feeling a little nervous about it. Second, my retreat. So I am hosting the Stitch New England retreat in October 2023. I know I've been teasing you about it for months now. I wanted to let you all know to keep your eyes peeled to your emails. If you are part of the weekly updates that you get from the shop every week. If you are not and you want to be, information for that is in the description box below. Or I will announce on Flosstube as well. There will be an announcement about registration times coming next month. Registration isn't coming next month, but I will be announcing when it is and how it is going to work next month in the beginning of the month. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I think that's it for shop updates. We're done. That brings us to lastly, bird update. I don't have a lot to talk about. With all the stress from Expo and my daughter's issue right now, I have kind of been ignoring my birds a little bit. Like, I'm doing the very basics. They're not even getting their cylinder filled every day. My bird feeder situation, so I took my Oriole feeder down. I don't remember if I told you that last time. I had not seen Orioles in a little bit. They are not coming to my yard for a few weeks now. So, and this time of year, it gets out of control with the yellow jackets. So, which then makes me feel like I don't want to go up to my feeders because I have to deal with dodging the yellow jackets who are after the jelly and the oranges. So the Oriole feeder came down. So currently my feeding station has my finch feeder, like a tube cylinder feeder, which I usually put a mix in. I have a little feeder that holds like a compressed seed cylinder. Like it's like round and it's got a hole in the middle but it's not loose seed. It's like a compressed situation. And then I have my small little tray feeder. So right now I'm putting a little woodpecker blend in my tray feeder. And then I decided, so I thought I wasn't gonna have a bird update, and apparently I'm gonna talk all about bird food. I went to Wild Birds Unlimited and I was like, so the starlings and the grackles are out of control and we're not having a good time at the feeder anymore. Like, my backyard is raucous and noisy and they're scaring the little birds away and they're out of control. So she told me to put safflower seed in. So just straight safflower seed. The big birds don't like it. The little birds will still come. So that's what I did. So my compressed seed is all safflower. And then the seed that I was putting in the cylinder, the tube feeder, we're gonna call it a tube feeder, was all safflower. And then I put out some suet that's straight suet. It's not a blend. There's no nuts. There's no peanut butter. There's nothing fun happening. And sure enough, the grackles and the starlings have left. I did run out of the safflower that goes in my tube feeder, and I started putting some chickadee blend back in, and it does not take those big birds long to figure out that something good is back. But for the most part, the noise is way down. Unfortunately, the squirrel's back and the chipmunk because they're not coated in the hot pepper. And I think this week I'm taking the hummingbird feeder down. I've kept it out because I know they're migrating. My daughter still has tons in her yard. They're not coming to my yard and I'm tired of filling it. That's it, I said it. That's it, that's my bird update. I mean, there's really been nothing exciting. I'm waiting for, the Orioles are gone. I'm waiting for the Juncos to come back. We'll see if I get them again this winter. I don't know, the house sparrows, which hadn't really been eating at my feeder, are back now that safflower. They apparently are really in love with the safflower. Okay, that's it. That's all I want to talk about. I will see you all next time. I'm going to try really hard to make it next Tuesday. We'll see what happens. Also, I'm getting kind of close to 4,000 subscribers. Not sure when that happened, but that means pretty soon we'll have another giveaway, which will be fun and exciting. All right, we're 40 minutes. Okay, we're not gonna do the thing where I just ramble, stream of consciousness. Okay, I will see you all next time. In the meantime, I hope that you are all healthy and that you stay safe and that you're happy and that you get lots of stitching in. Bye, everyone.